Hi everyone, if you're joining my channel for the first time, remember to like and subscribe. My name is Cress Cummings and I am a newbie to the YouTube channel, but nonetheless I hope that you will enjoy my content. I will be uploading every once a week, so I hope you will enjoy my content as I post. So tonight's video is all about academic failure. Personally, I have 2 degrees, so I'm talking from my experience with my second degree. My first degree, I would have attained a distinction, so I basically came through university with somewhat of an ease. And I saw my other colleague, there was this other young lady, I remember vividly. She was standing at the door as we were going through our rehearsal for our graduation day, and I knew she had to stay an extra year because of, she was having some challenges and she had to stay back an extra year. And I don't know if my other colleagues saw it, but I felt really sad for her because I could have seen her demeanor. I could have seen how she didn't say anything, but I saw how she felt based on her facial expressions. So I was like, gosh, boys, with this girl, how this girl feeling? I hope I could have helped her in some way or the other, but I couldn't because we had already gone through the process. So some people fail in silence and they don't ever ask for help because they think at some point they can do it on their own. I want to let you know that yes, you can, but there's a higher source, and that's God, who you can ask. Always ask for help and assistance. So I'm going to go into some of the tips right now and shout out to those persons who would have messaged me privately and say, well, hey Grace, congrats on your first video, but you need to do so to do, to improve your quality and so on. So I hope tonight's quality is much more better and you'll be able to understand and to hear clearly. Yeah, so let's get right into it for tonight's video. The first thing is change your definition. So watch how you define failure and the situation that you're going through. Be mindful, and I'm looking down because my notes are there. Be mindful of the things you speak over your life, because we know that there is power in the tongue. And when we have a definition where we say, oh, I'm a failure, or I can't do something, then that is what our mind constantly tells us, and that is what we internally believe about ourselves. I remember I used to call myself a failure in that season of my life when I was doing my law degree, because I would have failed I think it's about 4 courses. I would have failed, and I remember telling my fiancé, I was like, at the time my boyfriend, I was saying, hey, I think this is my failing season and I'm a failure and I can't pass this course or these courses, and I'm really working hard, because it's not like I wasn't studying or anything, but it's just that I wasn't passing the way I wanted to pass, or even if I passed, it was bare minimal, so that really used to hurt me. And it was until I decided that, hey, I have to change the way I see the situation. Stop thinking about yourself as a failure, because even as you're studying for hours, you are calling yourself, and you're speaking over your own life that you're a failure, and that is what you will get, because that's how you feel about yourself, right? So change your definition of how you see things and how you explain things to other people, and then you will get that momentum of, hey, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. I remember I used to get like some small flashcards on top of my mirror, so every morning while I'm doing my hair or grooming myself before I go to class, I would say, well, these are the things: I am beautiful, I am smart, I can do all things through Christ, I am a billionaire, I'm a millionaire, stuff like these, things that would keep you motivated and encourage you to continue pressing on. So that's number 1. change the definition of how you see things, and know that there is a positive to every negative thing that you may be seeing with your physical eyes, and know that it's a spiritual warfare we're all going through. Because okay, I can get into that later. I was the first in my family to actually graduated from university. Excuse me, graduated from university. So there was like that big, tug and battle, spiritual warfare. And not saying anything bad about my family members, but they're all business people, so it's not like they're not good off in any way, but it's just that I took a different route and I took the educational part. So change the character of the way you see change the definition of the way you see things, and things definitely will change for you, because it's all about how you see things and how you define things in the natural realm. Secondly, keep a positive inner circle. I cannot stress enough how important it is to have that positive inner circle. I had about 3 or 2 friends that I would confide in, and I would say, okay, I'm failed in so course, and I need your prayer, I need your assistance, I need your help. Check up on me 2 o'clock in the morning, make sure I'm up, make sure I'm studying. Just get that 1 or 2 person that you can confide in, or get that 1 person you can get a study group. For me, I personally didn't like study groups. I don't know, sometimes you just end up talking things you're not supposed to be talking, and you get quite distracted very fast while in a study group. So I prefer to study by myself, or even if I'm studying with another person, we must be some way, some sort of distance away from each other. But that inner circle I'm talking about is that person that you can call and you can confide in and say, I'm having struggles with my courses and I need your assistance, I need your prayer, I need your help in coming past or going over this hurdle. The other thing in having a positive inner circle is, I know on the University of Guyana there's the Campus Crusade for Christ, and there's the InterVarsity Christian Fellowship, and there are other religious groups as well. But because I'm a Christian, I'm advocating for that. They provide mentors for you once a week, twice a month. It depends on how your schedule is on class, and you can share your experiences, you can share your feelings, and they come together as a group or individually, one-on-one, to pray for you and to ask how you're going and how is your academic life. So find that religious group, find that body of people that you can mesh with, and you know that they're there for you and they're willing to pray and help you through your process. All right, and know that there is confidentiality in what you're sharing with this person or those persons, because you don't want to say what's on your mind and to say or share your failures and then have to hear it back, because those things lead you to depression and all sort of things, because you're already feeling like you're a loser or you're a failure, and then to know that you would have shared this thing with somebody that you felt is a confidant, and then that person went behind your back and said a whole lot of things because you would have shared your experience. So get that positive inner circle. Watch your attitude. Develop an attitude that is positive at all time, because not having a positive attitude would lead you straight into depression, and that is what happened for me. I basically had a bad attitude to, I'm a failure and this is what it is, I can't get past this. I reached to the stage where I felt like I'm going to give up, I'm just going to just take my life and let it be. And all those who looking at me and saying, oh, she's a failure, or she was a distinction student and now she can't do better than this, and I definitely used to feel bad about especially family members who would come and say, oh, so you get to fail grade, how much grades you fail again, and when you can graduate you got an extra year, and sometimes you don't even know what to tell them because they expect the best from you. And that's just how family are. They expect the best from you because they want, you know, they want the best for you. But not knowing that those very things of trying to pressure you can cause you to have a negative effect and a mindset on what you're actually trying to accomplish. Alright, so just make sure you keep that positive energy. Listen to some nice relaxing. For me, I prefer a nice soothing relaxing gospel instrumentals. And also I listen to Les Brown, the late Dr. Miles Monroe, and T.D. Jakes, and different information inspirational speakers to get my momentum up, you know, and to keep that positive vibe every morning. You listen to that positive instrumental or inspirational words so that it keeps your mind positive and it keeps your mind active in the right direction. Number 4, failure may cause you to be all alone and neglected. You can feel so neglected while studying and being a failure, but know in that season, that's the time where God is dealing with you mentally and is dealing with you to strengthen your inner being. This is the time when you learn to develop and to lean on yourself, to know your character. I can't begin to tell you how I felt so alone because I was failing all these courses and so on, and it caused me to, you know, to take a step back and to look at myself and to know what is it that you really need to focus on. And that is when I realized it's actually me that I need to focus on. Do things to please you. You're always trying to help others and make sure you get this right and get that right, but no, focus on you, so that at the end of the day you get to put your best foot forward. Alright? Step out of your comfort zone. This is where you start speaking things over your life and you start taking advantage of every single opportunity that comes your way. So I would normally say to myself, if someone asks you to do something, even if you don't know how to do it, say I can, or I will, or I will try, because that helps you to develop your character. It helps you to develop who you are as an individual. Why say you can't do it and then allow somebody else to get the experience? You never know until you try. So this is the point where you need to step out of your comfort zone. Sometimes you don't like public speaking and there's a mood competition or something and you have to go to the front, then take up the challenge. There's nothing wrong with taking up the challenge. It's either you fail or it's either you pass, but you won't know if you would pass if you don't try. Alright, so this is the point where you have to step out of your comfort zone and take advantage of every single opportunity, because after the next 4 years or the next 3 years, university is going to be finished, and what is there you're going to say? What memory are you going to say that you had if it's just studying all the time? There must be a part where you can bond with your classmates. There must be a part where you can step out of your comfort zone and you can do things and you can have fun with them. I'm not saying to do illegal things in any way, but at least you can have fun with your colleagues and you can participate in different activities so that you can have a wider bracket of things that you participated on in school. Volunteer for something that you've never volunteered for. There are Toastmasters, there's the Lions Club. There are different things that you can participate in while going to school, and this can help you. And there is when you can find all the colleagues that you know that can help you study and can pull you up, and persons you can be accountable to. Alright, so step out of your comfort zone and know that all things work together for good for those that love the Lord and are called according to His purpose. And the final and most important thing, and that is to pray. I remember there was this one afternoon we were in law class and they had a seminar on public speaking and so on, and those persons who were in the room, they can attest to this and they can probably say how it went. But everybody was called upon and they had to speak on something. And I remember when the person pointed to me and said, "You come up," I literally froze. Like, the topic was given to me and I didn't know what to say. And I just left standing there And man, I was embarrassed, like literally literally embarrassed. And I felt disappointed because of course you were on a team, was one side of the class against the other side, and I was completely embarrassed. And I came home and I cried. I was on my knees crying and, you know, asking God why this had to happen to me. And I think it helped my self-esteem to grow, because I looked at it as a stepping stone to say I would have failed, I would have let my colleagues down, and I would have let myself down. And that is when I realized that nothing can't happen without prayer. And God admonishes us that we should ask and it shall be given unto us. We would seek and we would find. So, and he said we have not as well because we ask not. And it is then I realized that I need to continuously ask God for what I want. Ask him for A's, ask him for B's. And I can tell you, in the last semester of my academic year, I actually had to stay next year, of course, because of the failure grades. But in the last semester of my academic year in law school, I would have done so well. And I was like, why couldn't I have done so well before? And this is when I knew that humility is something that you have to have in order to go through this life. Because of course I was all pumped and I was all, you know, pride was all up there because you just graduated with a distinction, you just graduated at the top of your class, yeah, and I was feeling all good. But when it came to that point when I started to fail, I realized that I just, you know, I needed to keep focused and I needed to continue to pray. So make sure you pray, and God is gonna help you along the way. Yes, I know that you may feel like you would have failed so many courses. I know there are so many other students who are, you know, they're just at the brink of graduating, but there's that one course that keeps you back, you know. And that happened to me. I remember even to the very last course, I would have failed, and then I had to write a receipt like 2 or 3 months before graduation. And I'm like, God, I have to pass this course. I'm not going to stay in here for another year. So this is when you know that you can't depend on no man. You when I say man, I mean our fleshly being and people around you. You have to depend on God. So you may be feeling like I'm going to give up. This is the last. I'm going to throw it in. But I know that through that period there was an end, because God said in his word that he's faithful and just to complete that which he would have started in you. So know that he's asking and he's there to know. He said we must do good for his name's sake. So because of who he is and because of who he has called us to be, we must do well for his name's sake. Alright, so just continue to put your trust and your hope and your faith in him. And as I finish today's topic, I want to encourage you that you can do all things through Christ who strengthens you. He is able and he is willing. All you have to do is ask him and he will answer. Bye for now. I trust that you're keeping safe and do well. Bye. Singing about a